Dear math lovers, students of Tambe sir, family members of Raman sir and Tambe sir, friends and all students who have gathered. A very good evening to all of you. My name is Vinay Nair. I am one of the co-founders and trustees of Raising a Mathematician Foundation. And it is my honor to be your MC for today. I'll first request Shri Shriprasad Tambe sir. Shani, kindly take it over. And request all the dignitaries to kindly come on the dais. Tambe sir, Anjali, Prashant. Thank you. And request Sri Ram to kindly welcome our beloved Shri Prasad Tambe sir with the bouquet. I'll request Neha to welcome our chief guest for today, Professor Aditya Karnataki. I'll request Drupad to welcome Shri Parameshwaran, our guest of honor for today. And I'll request Sri Ram to welcome Prashant Ramaswamy, guest for today. Thank you. I'll take a few minutes to brief about what this event is and about where we are coming from. So like I said, I'm here on behalf of Raising a Mathematician Foundation, and ours is a not-for-profit organization that works towards the promotion of mathematics. Now, when I'm standing before all of you, and most of you I know that are students of Tambe sir, so I don't think I need to emphasize on the part of what is the need for early nurturing and identifying students who are inclined towards mathematics. So I'll directly skip that part and I'll go to what we have been doing. I'm sure most of you have heard of the MTTS program, Mathematics Training and Talent Search, There won't be anybody who's from a math background and who has not heard of NPTES. So 10 years ago, a few of us based out of Dombivli and who all of us were into math education took inspiration from NPTES and our beloved Professor Kumaresan. And we thought, why not do a program like that for high school students across India? So that's how the foundation took its genesis. And we started with a free of cost residential training program for 100 kids across the country who are passionate about mathematics. And over these last 10 years, we have been doing various programs with the support of esteemed math educators, mathematicians from and outside India. And I'm really happy and proud to say that over the last 2 years, 6 of our students were selected for the Spirit of Ramanujan Fellowship offered by University of Virginia. And a few of them got selected for the World of Scholars program this year. So that way, students have been coming up with accolades over the past few years. So what we try to do is we try to act as a bridge between the students and institutions, students and opportunities. So as all of you know, I mean, in your life as well, you would have come across a lot of people who have been instrumental in terms of connecting you with some amazing programs that have been happening, and that changed your life forever. So that's the kind of role that we try to play in our foundation, Raising a Mathematician Foundation. The foundation is mainly run by donations by generous people and with the support of educators. Many of them are present here today on the dais and off the dais, and they have been pillars of our organization in terms of providing guiding light to students. Now, when we talk about teachers or the role of teachers in our lives, I'm sure we have at least one role model present in this room who have been the guiding light for many of us. And if we think about life outside and beyond maths as well, all of us might have been fortunate in some way or the other in coming across some teacher who touched our lives, who touched our hearts, and that changed our life forever. So one such teacher was Sir P.P. Raman, whose son Parameswaranji is present here with us today, and his grandson Prashant. Forward, they said that we would like to felicitate at least one teacher in a year who have been, teaching and working relentlessly, like Raman sir. Raman sir is no longer in the physical body with us today, but he continues to be our pulsating energy, throughout our life. That's a bit of background about our foundation and about today's event. In case you feel tempted to know a bit more about Raman sir, there is a takeaway book that is kept here. It's called The Teacher Who Taught Us to Think. And it's a small, I don't know what to call it. It's some kind of, it's a part of my heart, I would say. I wrote down my experiences of learning under a wonderful teacher. And many people have said that after reading the book, it reminded them of some teacher that who were part of their life. So it's a free takeaway book. Feel free to take away that when you step outside. So with this, I'll conclude my welcome address, and I'll take this opportunity to introduce Raman sir's grandson and also my good friend Prashant. Prashant is currently based out of England. He heads the systems program for 4G, 5G, and 6G technologies at Nokia. and he is responsible for deliverables across the globe. And he is at least as excited at me as me for this event today. So he came down, and I'll request him to talk a bit about Raman sir and this award, and then we'll move ahead. Prashant, if you can just speak a few.
I hope I'm audible. So I have to say it's an absolute honor to really take this stage with anything which goes with P.P. Raman sir's name to it. So I cannot describe that in words. And here I am today representing all of P.P. Raman sir's grandchildren. But more importantly, share a few words about P.P. Raman sir, because all of you are from a different background. A lot of you are Tambe students. I'm sure that you'll be able to relate to many things. How a teacher can be, such an influencer in each of our lives. So, P.P. Raman sir was born in a village in Palakkad district of Kerala, and where he served for close to 35 years, and retired from the school there as the headmaster. And after moving here to Mumbai, he was also a teacher here in Dombivli for more than 25 years. Now, that's 60 years of service in itself. And if we have to put this into perspective, there are many of the students here in Dombivli who are like fathers and mothers who have learned with him, and their kids have also learned with Raman sir. So that's the scale of influence that we are talking about when we talk about Raman sir. So why is he such a big magnet to all of us? Why do people keep going to him? We need to understand a little bit about the era when he moved to Maharashtra and Dombivli. This is when commercial coaching was becoming a thing, and Raman sir was not somebody who used to gauge himself as the number of school toppers or number of people in the merit plan, but his criteria of evaluating was to make sure that the student reaches his or her potential. That is what he used to keep it as a standard for himself, quite some standard, I would say, because year after year he used to make sure that there are no kids who drops out or stays back in that same very same class, irrespective of where the kid starts from. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about Raman sir. You can engage with him in a lot of subjects. He was an expert in literature, English, Sanskrit, sports, a little bit of mathematics. So, but jokes aside, English and mathematics are what he really taught us in 9th standard, 10th standard curriculum. But if I talk to my father, who was also a student in the school in Kerala, he gets very excited about the year when their actual Sanskrit teacher went on maternity leave, and Raman sir had to substitute for a few months for that year. And he still talks about all the anecdotes and the lessons for life that they learned from that 1 year. So that's how someone like P.P. Raman sir influences us so much. And he was a teacher who could relate across many generations. I mean, though he was 10 years back, he could relate and talk to a 20-year-old who is learning the latest of technology with equal zeal, like the 20-year-old himself would talk about his area of expertise. And that is something which, it is very visible also when we see the kind of people who come to meet him. So if we go to our after our vacations in Kerala, news used to spread that, hey, Raman sir is here. People used to come just to see him, have a few words with him, and we don't know about the million problems that they used to discuss. But we could see that they were speaking their hearts out. And that is where we could feel how much Raman sir is influencing so many lives. So it's not just what we learn in the classrooms, but what we learn in all the other discussions that we have with them beyond the classrooms. And when we are ourselves faced with so many problems now in life, and we solve and come out of it, that's when we have to sit back and think about how well they have all prepared us to face these kind of problems and challenges. So, so all of this background is what makes this award so special. And when Vinay and Raising a Math Foundation approached with this concept, it made so much sense and so relevant to the current scheme of things, where we have sirs like professors like Tambe sir, who not only gives us the gyan in the classrooms, but silently influences our life even outside. And this is really something where I would like this P.T. Raman Award, all of us to use this as an opportunity to recognize our teachers who many times work behind the scenes very selflessly. I mean, all of us cross the river, move on to bigger, or at least we feel bigger things in life, but they are there selflessly rowing those boats, making sure that the next set of students are also set up a dress code so that we all follow that and start to know about Tambe sir already a little bit. If Raman sir was here, he would have thought of an anecdote for any kind of instance. In this case, probably he would have said something like, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. So, quoting Shakespeare a little bit here, but wanted to say that how honored I am. And a big thanks for Tambe sir for being here. And Raman sir, we miss your banters with us a lot. We miss your debates about classical ragas with your better half and our grandmother, and all the apt anecdotes that you share with us at any given point of time. So here's to celebrate Raman sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prashant. You brought back some of the memories of talking to Raman sir in the last few years. Now coming to uh, introducing Tambe sir. So recently there was this movie called Praveen Tambe. I don't think there is a question in this room about Shri Shriprasad Tambe, but he deserves a good introduction. So I'll request one of his own students who has followed his footsteps to become a teacher, Professor Pranil Vaikar, to introduce him. Just a couple of lines about Pranil. Pranil works at Jai Hind College. He's an assistant professor there. He completed his BSc in 2013 and MSc in 2015. And he, like all of you, he has been passionate about two things. One is math and the other is Tambe sir. So Pranil, I invite you to kindly introduce yourself.
The good evening, everyone. The operative word in the whole thing was good introduction. I don't know whether I'm able to live up to that, but that's right. So, Deacon, I've been interested with the job of producing such a great personality. And when Vinay told me, asked me to do this, my first reaction was no. But, how do you introduce the man who has worked for 30 years, who has had such an illustrious career in just 5 minutes? Very impossible. But I'll try. So firstly, let me give you some. Let me talk about. So there are two aspects to this. One, him being a teacher, and one, him being a student. So let me start off with him being a student. So from whatever conversations that I have had with him, most of you would, some of you would know him closely. They would agree with me that I think mathematics comes very naturally to him, not just as a subject, I mean, not just as a student, but also even in terms of teaching. It comes very naturally to him. But I think one of the important points in his life was when he was in school. I think the seventh grade when I think he took a scholarship exam, one of the popular exams in so, and he came back home and told his mother that I would get 97 out of 100, and he actually got 97. That kind of boosted his confidence. That I think this is where I belong. This is what I should do. Yeah. So, yeah. Later on, he was, took admission in medical college, Pandurga College, and he graduated with a bachelor's degree in 1989. He went on to do his master's in IIT Bombay, as you know. I don't know whether you know about this, but he also had an offer to do PhD at a great institute in India. But due to some personal reasons, he had to take up a job, and then the journey began as a teacher. But like I said, again, definitely had some good teachers, even in bachelor, even in college, and even at IIT Bombay, like Gurpade sir, or even in bachelor, Jogrekar ma'am, if I'm not wrong. But I think his way of teaching is really unique to him. I don't think anybody has had a influence on him as such in terms of teaching, not as a math student, but as a teacher. Yeah, so like I was saying, he turned down that offer that he had and took up teaching. I, for one, believe that if he had taken that offer, he would have been a great researcher, but it would have been a great loss for most of us here. So, thankfully, he didn't do that. I think it was Bill Thurston, one of the great mathematicians, William Thurston or Bill Thurston, who said that progress in math is made not just through proving theorem, but also through advancing human understanding of mathematics. And I think it's very important for mathematicians to recognize that not all the students come from the same background. So this is something which I often think about as I have been, as Vinay said, that I have been teaching for some time now, and this is something which I often think about. Does my language alienate my students in the classroom? And it happens quite often, more often than not. I mean, I'm not saying it alienates everyone, but that's something, language that we use while teaching mathematics, it does matter. And it somehow, sometimes ends up alienating one. What I've observed about this teaching is that he reaches almost all the time everyone's heart. I don't know how he has managed to do that, but that's like a balance that's really, really tough to, right? As an educator, I feel that. I mean, to go back home, what I mean to say is that each one of the students in the classroom goes back home happy that he has understood at least something, if not everything. That's something which is rare to even be a matter. So, yeah, so we have to, I think, as a student, it's been very inspiring for me to kind of learn these things from him that one of the primary jobs that we have to do is we should not alienate our students, should not, especially our language. I've often a little anecdote, but even because I've attended his sessions even as a teacher, I've often seen him doing this. If he's proving some, even if he's proving some non-trivial theorem, and suppose he is using definition of convergence of sequences. If you are deep enough into the course, then everybody, you assume that everybody knows the definition, but he makes it a point that he will write it somewhere on top or on some corner that and he would repeat tirelessly. So that's something I have learned from him, that it's that extra minute or that half a minute or that kind of helps to reach even those who don't feel seen or heard. So the upshot of this is that most of the students that in this classroom feel seen and heard. That's very rare. Something which is really rare. It's always in his element while teaching. I have never seen him unhappy even after. I remember in 2013, during that time, 2013, 2014, he would of course take. So most of you must be knowing that he takes batches. Earlier, he would take batches for third year students. There used to be a batch for Jose College. There used to be a batch for Ruya College. Or you take Monday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday, and the other half we would call on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Most of us would believe that Saturday would be a holiday, but it was never a holiday. In fact, Saturday was his most perhaps busiest day for him. He would take paper 4 on that day. He would also take sessions for IIT JAM entrance. Then also sometimes would take number theory, elective offered at some colleges. In fact, Sunday would be even busier than rest of the day. So to do this tirelessly, year after year, I think is commendable, absolutely commendable, and not just commendable, but you would think that at some point, or the teacher would get jaded. I have never seen him jaded, or whatever I've seen. I've never seen him jaded, never tired. He's always happy by teaching, and also while discussing math with his students in general. I think I already said that it comes very naturally to teaching as well as doing mathematics. Observe a couple of other things which I would like to mention. His way of teaching, I don't know. He sometimes says that he couldn't do justice to the subjects like okay, graph theory, numerical, but I have attended sometimes those sessions as well, and I'm being very honest. He has done that also very well. There is no subject that I have seen him teaching, in a shoddy way, so to say. So it's tough. It's rare. I've also seen, because I'm in teaching at some colleges. At a college, I've seen college teachers sometimes, being very picky about which subject they would like to teach. Not all. So I don't intend to slander college teachers here. Just saying that sometimes we have all our liking. There's nothing wrong in it. But here is a man who has been teaching for 30 years every subject of mathematics. One of the things that I learned from him was there are no compartments in mathematics. People like to think of make it out as. So this compartmentalization has to kind of go away. No abstract algebra, there is no nothing. This is mathematics. So, and it also oozes out of his teaching, because when he's teaching, some people, some mathematicians would found it outrageous that he actually draws pictures while teaching abstract algebra. That's something which something which is very unique. I've never seen any teacher, even you go on YouTube, there are educators who have been teaching mathematics for some time. Just go and check. I mean, teaching abstract algebra, drawing pictures does not add up. But it still, I mean, didn't make sense at that time to me. I mean, it did make sense in terms of it helped me kind of understand the subject really well. In terms of course, because there is always set theory involved in any be it abstract algebra, be it metrics, or any subject that you learn in mathematics. But when I was doing my masters and I was looking at course sets, when I was looking at quotient spaces, I actually understood, especially in linear algebra, I actually understood and started valuing those lessons even more because that time I actually understand that algebra and geometry are not really mutually exclusive. So yeah, one last thing that I would like to add is about being a great teacher and him being a versatile teacher, etc. Also kind of observed how famous that apart from his mathematical inclination and mathematical, I would say, his hold on the subject, he is a very kind human being. That these two things are again very rare. To have in general, I feel the kindness kind of the world actually at this point we live in quite divided time. The world needs kindness, empathy, and there is a person who knows little details about all this. Whether you are coming from Bhiwandi, whether you are coming from Kamasopara, whether you are coming from Dongri, name of the student he knows tiniest details about that. And he always makes it a point that he asks you how you are, how situation that etc. So very, very kind. Yeah, that I stop here. That I don't know whether I what short, but yeah. So the man would know does not need introduction, and yet with this I stop and thank you so much for doing everything that you have done for all of us. And yeah, please give your round of applause for this. Thank you to Ram Foundation as well. Sorry, I forgot about this entirely. For recognizing his contribution to the not just to students, but I would say entire math fraternity. It matters. What he has done for 30 odd years is not easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranil, for painting that wonderful picture about Tambe sir and his classmates. I'll now move on to introduce our speakers for today's event. And many of you would already know him, but still I'll take this opportunity to introduce. Because again, everybody's journey is quite interesting to see. So we have with us Professor Aditya Karnataki, who has joined us all the way from Chennai. So a bit about his background. He was a student of S.P. Joshi High School here in Dombivli. And when, earlier, I think most of you know that Tambe sir and other teachers were running Olympiad classes long ago in Tilak school. So he missed the information or the information didn't reach him. He was late to write the entrance exam. But then he came ahead and sir kindly agreed that why don't you write the entrance exam? If you get it, you get it. And then he wrote and undoubtedly he got it, of course. So once he got into that program, I think there was no looking back for him when it came to math. So he started, or probably his journey towards mathematics grew a lot more after coming to Tambe is what I get to understand from him. And he aced his 12th standard. In fact, he was an MTS fellow. He had KVPY fellowship. He had a seat reserved in IIT. Again in IISc, and he also got an offer from Chennai Mathematics. So back then, CMI was not that popular amongst, even now it is not that popular amongst most people. So he took the guidance from Tambe sir, and Tambe sir said, just go for CMI. So that's how he lands in CMI. He finishes his undergraduation from CMI, goes to Boston to do his PhD. But again, doing math does not satisfy him. So he said, not getting on to a job so fast, probably. He said, I'll do something in postdoc. He spends a couple of years at TIFR as a postdoc fellow. And then he goes to, Beijing International Center for Mathematical Research at Peking University for doing his postdoc there. And that he was also visiting fellow there. And recently he came back to India for good, and he has joined now as an assistant professor at Chennai Mathematical Institute. So that's a kind of his formal journey so far. And I think because all of you love mathematics and you are students of Tambe sir, I will not shy away telling his research interest in mathematics. In usual formal introduction, he is involved in a lot of areas in math, so that's what you would say. But let me just name a few areas that are of his research interest. He is into algebraic number theory, arithmetic geometry, Langlands program, confluence of automorphic functions, cohomology, I have no idea what that is, of Shimura varieties, p-adic modular forms and Galois representations, p-adic Hodge theory, analytic number theory, counting arithmetic objects, L functions and their properties. So these are some of his research interests, but beyond research, he is also passionate about getting involved in a lot of math programs for high school students who show a lot of promise towards mathematics. So that way, he has been involved with the prestigious Promise program that happens at Boston. He was a counselor for the Promise teachers for a couple of years. He was also he has also taught in the Yao Xinhua Math Camp, which happens in China. And recently, he also taught, I think, Bernoulli numbers in Epsilon India Camp to 9 to 12-year-old students who are deeply passionate about mathematics. So apart from all these, he's an amazing writer. I'm sure quite a few of you would have read his articles. He's equally good in Marathi as well as English in writing. You can read up more about his math-related articles in Marathi, but coined in a lot of story form in myboli.com, MAYBOLI. I was just reading up a story the other day that was on the Banach-Tarski paradox, and he explained that with a Ganesha and Moshaka example, in a fun way that everybody can read and enjoy. So he has joined us here from Chennai, and on this part of the event for conferring the P.P. Raman Award to our dear Tambe sir. So I'll hand it over to him, but I'd just like to share one more line. The other day, I asked him in which year he was a student of Tambe sir, and he replied, always. So with that, we'll formally let's first formally welcome Professor Aditya Karnataki, and we will have the felicitation function, the main event for today's function. I'll request Shri Parameswaran ji to kindly So I'll request Parameswaran ji to kindly honor Tambe sir with the shawl. Thank you, Parameswaran ji. I will now request Professor Aditya Karnataki to kindly give the first P.P. Raman Award to our beloved Tambe sir. And I request Prashant and Prashant to please join. And thank you, all the devotees. I'll kindly request Professor Aditya to speak a few words.
Thank you very much for organizing this. Hello. So, thank you very much for organizing this. And, you know, in the name of such a great teacher, I have read your book. And Professor Raman sir, wonderful teacher. And such an award to an equally wonderful teacher for the inaugural award. Beautiful occasion. I'm really happy to be here. Here, really as a student of Elizabeth. So thank you very much to Vinay and Ram Foundation for this award, and I hope to be present for many more years. Or celebrating other educators from so I was initially going to speak in Marathi because it is really, you know, the Tambe sir I've always spoken Marathi. So really it's difficult to speak all the time in English, but everything is in English that we try. And so first when I met Tambe sir was in 2003, although I've always been a student when I met them. It's been 20 years, but it still feels like yesterday, and exactly correct that I was late for the very good exam. And to be honest, from what I remember of the exam, it actually was not that great. Somehow I did. So maybe my impression was that we had a wonderful group of mathematics students from the world at the time. To my knowledge, that was one of the first times that somebody had even tried getting the group. And it was the first lecture when he taught us, he mentioned an Olympiad problem to some of the students who might have seen it. Take the number 4,444 raised to 4,444. Call this number 8. And take the sum of digits of that number. Then again take the sum of digits of that number. And do it till you get a single digit and what's the answer. And this is something that you have never seen in school ever. I'm sure some people know that problem very well. And the solution is very simple once you get more basic idea. But when I saw that problem on the blackboard now, it was very easy, but you know, sort of Olympiad problem, then I realized that there is much more beyond what I was doing in school. And so Tambe sir has that ability to inspire, which is very unique, which I have not found in many teachers, although I've seen many teachers during my last many years as a student. So that ability to inspire, that ability to open doors, which you know you would never have opened otherwise. That's something that I really cherish in college. And hello. Maybe we smile, you know, emotions are really up and down. You know, Manil has done such a wonderful job of speaking about competition. First of all, I wish I would ask him as you. I'm not. So I already have stage to reach. But yeah, so that ability to inspire even a bunch of students, two of those like that. Have become number theorists. One is me, and one is a very good friend of mine. So from Dombivali, we have at least 4 mathematicians that I know personally who have been taught by Tambe. And that's such a great contribution to the mathematical community of India that it really astonishes me. And so this was like in the 9th grade. We just solved some problems every Sunday. We were together, we solved some problems, and somehow I also got selected for this national level. Hello, this national level exam, I know. And then Tambe sir I was the only one selected at that time. So I just went to his home. And I had called him on his phone that time and said, can I come? I need some guidance. And at that time, I remember the way he said hello on the phone. He has a very peculiar style. His students will know what I'm talking about. And I think I have also inculcated that style, being very polite, very appreciative of what, how you how you speak to your students. And so again, that's something that from 20 years ago, I remember very well. I think I subconsciously must have had that in me as well. And so I went to his home and, he taught me as well as he could. And somehow our association continued beyond the 9th grade and maybe 11th and 12th. We also still kept talking about maths, what to do with the career. And then as he said, Tambe strongly suggested that I go to CMI rather than go to IIT college. I'm very happy that I took his advice. This has been a really satisfying journey for me. And again, really, thank you very much for that advice. But then I remember again one particular incident which later came back to me. And so I was in the 12th grade, and 12th grade you see all this mathematics, which is just the beginning of many things. And but once I had some problem that I don't remember what the problem was, but I took it to him. And then he started talking about metric spaces. And he said, oh, there is a concept of a function, like a metric function that basically mimics what Euclidean distance does onto some other sets. And at that time, I didn't realize what he was talking about. But later, I got to know what metric functions are, what metric spaces are. And then I realized that he hadn't bothered about the fact that I was in the 12th grade. He hadn't thought that maybe the students will not understand. He just talked about them, and he had this belief in me. And that belief in students is very, very required because as a student, I've only recently started proper teaching, but I've had some experience. As I said, and as a student, there are many times when you doubt yourself, I can't do this, or how can I, this seems too difficult. But this ability to inspire and have that belief in the students is again very unique and must be celebrated. With the award. So that it has been one steady conversation that I've been having for 20 years, and the conversation is still continuing. Subject. We have a lot to talk. I know we will it over. And again, as I said, we will get that. As I said, it feels strange to talk in English because we just didn't limit our conversations to mathematics. But I have learned a lot about Marathi literature. I remember one particular poem that you wrote. Very good poem. At some point, we should look at publishing some of these books. And there was one poem called I Did to Mother. Visit IIT campus. And again, it was a way of opening doors in something. Somebody can write a poem about this. And it was a great poem. Where you actually get a sense of, what would happen if this kid was alive. Again, by that time, I realized that I also went to it. And I also started doing poetry for certain instances. And so that ability to inspire, he has told me to focus more on some classical music. So I don't know if you know the conversation. But again, not just limited to maths, but the way that he can bring out that creative expression in a student is priceless. Because creativity cannot be taught usually. Because nurturing, but that nurturing needs to be done very delicately. And because as easily as it can be nurtured, it can also be killed off. Because not of our education system actually goes in the other direction. So I'm really glad and I was hello, hello. Yeah, so I'm really glad that I was a student of Ambassador in which in these 20 years I got this wonderful opportunity to explore myself as a student in various roles, student of mathematics, student of literature, and somehow got that creativity out. And so I would also like to mention Anushri and Drupal. So of course Drupal came later, but their role in Ambassador's life is also priceless. And also in my life, Anushri has helped me quite a bit many times. And so thank you very much for that also. But, with Ambassador again, he doesn't come alone. He comes with a family of his own, a family of his extended family of his students. I know so many people, so many nice people because that's a contribution to my life that I will never forget. And so I would like to end with a line in a poem by his namesake, Mara Tambe. So he says, Madhu Magasi Maja Sakya, Madhu Vadas Vikamil Karati, there is a Madhuvans never be appreciated. Madhuvan Kari and we are really waiting for more and more honey of mathematics that will come from you even in the years for you. So thank you very much once again for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Aditya. So I'm sure there are a lot of you who would like to come and share your experiences and like Pradesh and Aditya. I just call a few of them who have expressed their interest to come and share a few memories of learning at the campus. I'll first call Kaustubh Pillai. Kaustubh recently completed his MSc Mathematics. And yes. नमस्कार सगळ्यांनी जरी इंग्रजी केलं असलं तरी मी मराठीत प्रिपेअर करून आलोय म्हणून मी त्यातच बोलणार आहे आणि सरांबद्दल सांगण्यासारखे किस्से आणि त्यांचं शिकवणं वगैरे बद्दल भरपूर आहे पण वेळ कमी आहे म्हणून मी फक्त एवढं म्हणेन की मी सरांबद्दल बोलणं म्हणजे काजव्याने सूर्यासमोर बोलण्यासारखं आहे एक वाक्य मी पाठ करून आलेलो आता पुढचं सगळं कॅज्युअल असणार आणि एवढं ओपनली मी आणि कॅज्युअली बोलू शकतो सरांशी याचं कारण आमच्यासोबत घडलेला एक किस्सा आहे आमच्या बॅच मधल्या मुलांना पण माहित असेल ते ब्रेक मध्ये आम्ही खाली होतो आणि सरांना एक आजीबाई भेटल्या त्यांच्याशी त्यांनी 2 शब्द बोलले गप्पा मारल्या आणि त्यांच्यासोबत अजून एक आजीबाई होत्या बोलून आम्ही निघालो आणि त्या जे वाक्य म्हणाल्या त्यानंतर आम्ही एवढे हसलो असू त्या असं म्हणाले की हे तांबे सर विद्यार्थ्यांना गणित शिकवतात आणि हा माणूस म्हणजे सज्जनतेचा कळस असं वाक्य त्यांनी म्हणाले होते आणि ते अगदी सत्यात केलं आणि असं असलं तरी शांत स्वभावाचे सर जेव्हा विद्यार्थ्यांचं करिअर निवडण्याची वेळ येते एखादी परीक्षा निवडण्याची वेळ येते तेव्हा मात्र स्पष्टपणे जरी ते सत्य कटू असलं तरी सांगते म्हणजे भविष्याच्या वेळेला ते मात्र त्यांचा स्वभाव सोडून सुद्धा बोलतात आणि त्यांचं शिकवणं म्हणजे प्रत्येक वर्गामध्ये अति हुशार ऍव्हरेज आणि त्याचे सगळे विद्यार्थी असतात पण त्यांच्या वर्गात बसलं की सगळ्यांना माहित असतं की आज आपल्याला कळणार आहे म्हणजे अगदी हुशार मुलगा पण असं नाही म्हणणार की आज मला कंटाळा येईल काय रिपीट होते चालेल आणि अगदी कच्चा मुलगा म्हणेल की येतो खूपच फास्ट चालेल सगळे एन्जॉय करायचे त्यांचं सेशन आणि हेच त्यांचं म्हणजे याच्यासोबत गणित तर आलंच
पण त्यांचं म्हणजे मी तर एक कुठलं तरी पुस्तक वाचून अध्यात्माच्या बाबतीत फॅसिनेट झालो होतो, पण त्यांनी मला योग्य मार्गदर्शन केलं त्या बाबतीत सुद्धा. मला आठवलं की एक गाणं मोड आया है म्हणून आम्ही ऐकलं होतं, आणि त्या गाण्याचं ते पूर्ण उर्दू गाणं होतं. त्या गाण्याचं ट्रान्सलेशन सुद्धा आम्ही किती वेळ बसून करायचा प्रयत्न करायचो एकमेकांना बोलत. सगळ्याच बाबतीत ते फार रसिक होते. तर यावरच मी म्हणेन त्यांच्याबद्दल. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Kaustubh. I don't know if Mayuresh is here. Mayuresh is not here. Mridula. Sorry, I don't know from which batch you are, so you can.
I'm from second batch.
Oh, wow. So Mridula from sir's second batch.
थँक्यू पहिल्यांदा कौस्तुभला, कारण त्याने आमचं काम सोपं केलं. कारण खरोखरच जे बोलायचंय ते मराठीतच मी चांगलं बोलू शकते. तर थँक्यू सगळ्यांसाठी. आज आम्ही स्टुडंटसाठी आमच्यासाठी खरोखरच खूप अभिमानाचा क्षण आहे, कारण हे प्रॉपर रेकॉग्निशन मिळालंय सरांना. आम्ही तर त्यांना मी तर फ्रेंड फिलॉसॉफर आणि गाईड असंच म्हणते त्याला. मी 1993 मे महिना होता, आणि रघुपती सर माझ्या मते इथे माहिती असतील बऱ्याच जणांना. तर रघुपती सरांना मी भेटायला गेले होते आणि त्यांना सांगितलं की मी लास्ट इयरला मॅथ्स घ्यायचं ठरवलंय. तर सरांनी लगेच सांगितलं चांगला गायडन्स हवाय का? म्हटलं हो हवाय. तर मी सांगतो ना, त्याला जाऊन भेटा. मग सरांनी प्रसाद सरांचं नाव सांगितलं. आम्ही सरांकडे गेलो. पहिली गोष्ट जी आम्हाला प्रसाद सरांनी सांगितली होती की तुम्ही माझ्याकडे क्लासला येताय म्हणून तुम्ही कॉलेजची लेक्चर्स बंक करायची नाही. इथे आपण सगळे एकत्र प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करणार आहोत, पण नोट्स, सिलेबस, एक्झाम्स या प्रत्येक गोष्टीसाठी तुमचा कॉलेजमधला अटेंडन्सही तितकाच महत्त्वाचा आहे आणि ते तुम्हाला केलं पाहिजे. सो हे खूप क्लिअरली आम्हाला सांगितलं होतं. आणि आमची दुसरी बॅच होती, आम्हाला दुसरी एक ऑर्डर होती की पाटी पेन्सिल घेऊन यायचं. तर आम्ही पाटी आणि पेन्सिल घेऊन वर्षभर 7 ते 9 सरांच्या घरी जात होतो. सरांची जी घरी क्लास घ्यायचे त्यावेळेला, तर सरांची जी स्टडी होती छोटीशी रूम, तो आमच्यासाठी एक खजिना होता. गोदरेजच्या कपाटात मॅथ्सची पुस्तकं ठेवणारं मला वाटतं ते एकमेव घर मी त्यावेळेला पाहिलं होतं, आणि आजपर्यंत मी दुसरं कुठलंही घर पाहिलं नाही. पण सरांकडे म्हणजे मॅथ्सची पुस्तकं, इतर विषयांची पुस्तकं, गाणी, लता मंगेशकरच्या गाण्यांचं तर उत्कृष्ट कलेक्शन होतं, क्लासिकल. पण त्या शोकेसला मात्र हात लावायची आम्हाला परमिशन नव्हती. आम्हाला म्हणजे विचारून, मागून, रिक्वेस्ट करून हवंय 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 असं मागे लागून लागून आम्हाला ती पुस्तकं मिळायची, पण आम्हाला मिळायची. आणि जसं आता आदित्य सरांनी सांगितलं किंवा कौस्तुभने की येस क्रिएटिव्हिटी, म्हणजे मला आठवतंय त्यावेळेला आम्ही ते चारोळ्यांचं पुस्तक आलं होतं सगळ्यात पहिल्यांदा, ते सरांकडे वाचलं होतं. त्यांनी आम्हाला ती पुस्तकं दिली होती. त्यामुळे कविता असो, गाणी असो, इतर काही म्हणजे पॉलिटिक्स असो, सगळ्या विषयांवर आमच्या गप्पा व्हायच्या. तांबे काकू पावसाळ्यात रोज आम्हाला आल्या चहा द्यायच्या गरम गरम. तो आम्ही कधीच नाही विसरणार. आजही आम्हाला आठवण येते सरांकडे आम्ही चहा प्यायचो त्याची. तर अशा खूप गमती जमती त्यावेळेला आम्ही सरांकडे केल्या. सुट्टी असली की लवकर जायचं, कॅरम खेळायचा. म्हणजे अभ्यास होत होता, पण त्याच्याबरोबर इतर इतक्या गोष्टी आम्ही त्या वर्षी म्हणजे एन्जॉय केलेल्या आहेत. आणि माझ्या वैयक्तिक बोलायचं तर मी आणि माझ्या 2 मैत्रिणी होतो, आम्ही 3च जणी होतो त्यावेळेला. तर सांगायचं झालं तर त्या वर्षातच म्हणजे मॅथ्स घ्यायचं एमएससीला किंवा मॅथ्स मध्ये टीचिंग करायचं हे माझं फिक्स झालं. तर ती एक म्हणजे मोठी दिशा जी आपण म्हणू शकतो ती मला त्या वर्षात मिळाली. आणि पुढे देखील जिथे जिथे मला गरज लागेल तिथे तिथे आम्ही हक्काने सरांना विचारत होतो. म्हणजे आता म्हटलं कुणीतरी तसं की एकदा दार उघडलं की उघडलं, ते परत बंद होणार नाही. तुम्ही कुठल्याही वेळेला जा, तुम्हाला पाहिजे ती मदत मिळेल. अगदी आता 5-6 वर्षांपूर्वी मला एक विषय म्हणजे कमी वेळात शिकवायचा होता. विचारलं की मला काही नोट्स किंवा काही मिळतील का, म्हणजे मला त्याच्यात माझा वेळ जाणार नाही. तर अक्षरशः म्हणजे दुसऱ्या दिवशी माझ्याकडे कुरिअर आलं होतं सरांच्या सुंदर अक्षरामध्ये दिव्या जोशी. तर असं आम्हाला खूप वेळोवेळी सरांची मदत झाली आहे. आता गेले जवळजवळ 25 पेक्षा जास्ती वर्ष मी सुद्धा मॅथ्स मध्ये म्हणजे टीचिंग मध्ये आहे आणि वैयक्तिक काही पर्सनल रिझन्समुळे मी म्हणजे मुंबईतून पुण्याला शिफ्ट झाले, कॉलेज जॉब पण मी चेंज केले, पण मला आजपर्यंत कुठलीही डिफिकल्टी आली नाही आणि त्याचं पूर्ण क्रेडिट ह्या त्या सरांकडे गेलेल्या एका वर्षाला झाली. जी स्ट्रॉंग फंडामेंटल्स आमची त्या वर्षात झाली त्याचं आजपर्यंत सो पूर्ण जे क्रेडिट आहे ते सरांना देईन. परत एकदा सरांचं अभिनंदन सगळ्यांना खरंच खूप आनंद झालेला आणि थँक्यू फाउंडेशन. थँक्यू.
Thank you, everybody. So now call one of sir's youngest recent students. So as all of you have heard and experienced, Tambe sir has a very wide range. He can teach MSc or PhD level students, and he can come down to a 5th grader or a 6th grader, and he can teach with the same poise and ease. So of course we don't have a 5th grader or 6th grader today, but we have a 11th grader, Malay, who has been one of the recent students. Malay, I request you to come and speak with you.
Good evening, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais. It gives me immense pleasure to be here this evening as a student of Tambe sir to appreciate the work of our beloved Tambe sir. He instilled in me love and passion towards mathematics. It inspired me to study more and harder and explore the subject of mathematics. He very wishingly taught me many Olympiad concepts, and under his right guidance, I cleared IMO this year. This work of teaching over the past 3 decades inspires me and all of us to work harder and explore this beautiful subject of mathematics. I wish him good health and best wishes to enlighten many others like me. I sincerely thank him for all what he has given to me, and I wish to keep showering me with his blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Malay. Malay recently was one of the few participants who got selected from India for the International Logical and Mathematical Games contest, and he represented amongst a few others from India in Switzerland. And now I request Professor Vishal Dixit from IIT Bombay. He is a professor of climate studies in IIT Bombay, and that's a new department they have set up, probably after they saw him. Vishal has been Tambe sir's student, and let's hear what Vishal has to say.
Thanks a lot, Vinay. First of all, thanks a lot, Raising a Mathematician Foundation, for actually calling me and giving me this opportunity to really express my gratitude towards Prasad sir and Uday sir today. So I will actually not take a lot of time. I'll just tell you that I did not do a career in mathematics, but still I must say that Tambe sir actually left a great impression on the way I think. And maybe I'll give you 2 examples. I don't know how much time to have. Okay, so maybe not more than 5 minutes. Example number 1. So I was a student, and I'm still a student actually, because I still use mathematics while I study climate modeling, climate science. So first example is when I was in 8th standard, and in some sense we were freshly exposed to an exam called Olympiad, and we did not know much about it. And there was a team of teachers, Purohit madam, Prasad Tambe sir and Uday Tambe sir. So we were totally fresh, and we did not really know as to what they were. And every Sunday we used to meet, and we were so fresh that we used to always think that to every problem we had an answer. And we used to come forward and say, yeah, I think I have got an answer. And every time we said this, Tambe sir used to say, yeah, that's excellent. and you come forward, you tell me as to what the answer is. And he used to patiently wait until we ourselves figured out that this is probably not a solution. And he never made it a point to tell us that, oh, I mean, this is not an answer really. And he did not. So he said, okay, so why don't you tell me and I'll run it for you. And by the time we figured that, oh, maybe this is not an answer, he used to say, no, this is not an answer, maybe there is a key here. And then somebody else used to think, yeah, probably he has an answer. So, and he did this patiently. Probably half of the class was spent like that. And I mean, I didn't realize it back then, but what I'm realizing now is that how much patience does he have really? Because when I talk to my students and when I see that they are struggling, there is a point, there is an inner urge in me to tell them, no, this is the wrong direction. And me telling them will give them some direction, but then realizing it coming from inside of them will leave them with a greater impression. And I think that left a great impression on me. The second example I would give is a combined experience of both the Tambe sirs. So this was, I think, in 1999 or 2000. I don't exactly remember. I think they had gotten hold of the third book of Ramanujan's notes that were published, and the kind of joy they had was as if some khajina is, I mean, it's the sheer joy that they had on their face just convinced us that this must be something special. And then next few lectures, actually, we spent not discussing math, but as to why the books are so precious. And then following 3 lectures were just doing geometry that Ramanujan thought without using, say, a ruler or something like that. I don't exactly remember. This was, I think, only with the compass, I think. And that was one different experience, that you could do geometry without using rulers. And then what sort of mathematician Ramanujan was. But beyond this, so I didn't end up pursuing math as my primary subject. But what I got out of this was the sheer joy they had. So again, I realized this later on, that I had this impression earlier on, was that their sheer passion for finding something new and the joy that produces on their faces. I mean, I still remember the joy they had. So that became one kind of benchmark for me. If I am really excited about a problem or not, so I typically decide if I find that inner excitement which matches the excitement I've seen in the past on their faces. So with that, maybe I will stop, and once again thank all of you, actually also the Raman family, Aditya, Tambe sir and Vinay, for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, thank you. I hope I have not.
Thank you, Vishal. Do we have Shubham Deepankar today? So Shubham was Tambe sir's student, and now he is teaching along with Tambe sir. So a student turned colleague. Let's hear what Shubham has to say.
सो मराठीतच बोलतो. म्हणजे मला तांबे सर कसे समजले तर, मी फर्स्ट इयर बीएससी ला असताना रिअल अनालिसिस नावाचा सब्जेक्ट होता. सो तो मला काही कळत नव्हता. म्हणजे पहिल्या 1-2 लेक्चर मध्ये समजलं की हे आपल्याला काही समजत नाही आता, आणि त्यामुळे भीती वाटायला लागली. सो माझ्या एका मित्राने मला सजेस्ट केलं की तांबे सर आहेत, त्यांना एकदा जाऊन भेट. आणि एकदा त्यांच्या क्लासला बसायला लागल्यानंतर कळलं की म्हणजे हे एकदम सोपं आहे रिअल अनालिसिस. त्यात काही फार अवघड नसतं. म्हणजे जे आपण 11वी 12वी शिकतो, लाईक कंटिन्युटी किंवा लिमिट्स, आणि त्याच्या मागचं हे फक्त एक बेसिक आयडियाज आहे त्याच्यात जे यूज होणार आहे. सो अशी म्हणजे इंट्रोडक्शन झाली होती. पण तेव्हा ज्या काही गोष्टी लक्षात आल्या त्या म्हणजे पुढे जाऊन एक शिक्षक म्हणून सुद्धा कामी आल्या. त्या म्हणजे की आता जसं प्रत्येक ठिकाणी बॅनर्स असतात प्रत्येक क्लासेसचे, तसे या सरांचे कधीच कुठे बॅनर्स नव्हते. म्हणजे क्लास कुठे आहे हे शोधायलाच मला जवळजवळ 1-2 दिवस गेले होते की नक्की क्लासचं लोकेशन कुठे आहे. आणि म्हणजे हे एकमेव सर मी असे पाहिलेत की जे आधी म्हणतात की आधी तुम्ही क्लासला बसा आणि बघा की तुम्हाला समजतंय की नाही आणि मग ठरवा क्लासला यायचंय की नाही. ते हे बोलतच नाही की तुम्ही फी कधी देणार आहात किंवा किती द्यायची आहे, कशी देणार आहात, चेकने देणार आहात, इन्स्टॉलमेंट्सने देणार आहात, असा काहीच प्रश्न नसतात. त्यामुळे हे शिक्षक म्हणून फार महत्वाचं आहे. त्यानंतर जेव्हा बेसिकली जेव्हा करिअर वगैरे निवडायचं असतं, ते मला कळत नव्हतं की बीएससी ला स्टॅटिस्टिक्स घेऊ का मॅथमॅटिक्स घेऊ थर्ड इयरला. तेव्हा सरांनीच मला ठामपणे सांगितलं की तुम्हाला स्टॅटिस्टिक्स घे, काहीच हरकत नाहीये, म्हणजे त्याच्याने तुला दोन्ही स्कोप सोबत राहतात. एवढं क्लिअरली असं कोणी जनरली सांगत नाही. आणि ते सुद्धा एक मॅथमॅटिक्सचे प्रोफेसर हे सांगतात की नाही तू स्टॅटिस्टिक्स घे, असं होत नाही कधी. आणि म्हणजे जेव्हा माझं एमएससी ला वगैरे सिलेक्शन झालं आयआयटी कानपूरमध्ये, तर माझ्याकडे दोन ऑप्शन आले होते, आयआयटी बॉम्बे आणि आयआयटी कानपूर. तर म्हणजे सगळ्यांचं म्हणणं होतं की मी आयआयटी बॉम्बे घ्यावं कारण ते असं एक टॉप रँकर असतं वगैरे. पण सर म्हणले की नाही नाही तू कानपूर घे, कारण एकतर तुझा इंटरेस्ट त्याच्यात वाटतोय आणि एक म्हणजे की ते लांब असलेलं बरं असतं की एमएससी ला जरा. म्हणजे त्यांचं म्हणणं होतं की हे शिक्षणापेक्षा आपण हे महत्वाचं की हॉस्टेल लाईफ एन्जॉय केली पाहिजे. हे जनरली असं कोणी सांगत नाही आपल्याला की हॉस्टेल लाईफ किती महत्वाचं आहे आणि त्याने कशी पर्सनॅलिटी घडू शकते. तर सर हे नेहमी सांगतात की तुम्ही मॅथ्स आणि लाईफ हे कसं म्हणजे तुम्ही एकत्रित जगलं पाहिजे. आणि आय थिंक म्हणजे आताच्या ह्याच्यात सगळीकडे एक असं वापरलं जातं एकदम की वर्क लाईफ बॅलन्स. माझ्या सरांच्या ह्याच्यात तसं काही नसावं वर्क लाईफ बॅलन्स वगैरे, कारण म्हणजे सरांचं लाईफ हेच मॅथ्स आहे, त्याच्यात काही वर्क नाहीये. कारण जसं आता सांगितलं होतं की म्हणजे सरांचं विकेंड, ते विकेंड सुद्धा म्हणजे टायरलेसली मॅथमॅटिक्स असतं फक्त. सरांकडे कधी कुठलाही प्रॉब्लेम घेऊन जा आणि त्याचं सोल्युशन कितीही वेळ लागला, कितीही प्रॉब्लेम्स असले तरी ते सर देणारच. मग तुम्ही म्हणजे सकाळी जाऊन दुपार होऊ दे काही होऊ दे. मला आठवतंय की जेव्हा मी जॅमला वगैरे जायचो तर तेव्हा सर सकाळी जॅमची बॅच घ्यायची, मग एक बीएससी ची बॅच असायची, मग परत संध्याकाळी जॅमची बॅच असायची, असं करत करत त्यांचा पूर्ण संडे जायचा. म्हणजे आणि हे सर असे आहेत की जे ऑनलाईन लेक्चर मॉड्यूलला पण सर इमिजिएटली ऍडजस्ट झाले. जनरली लोकांना खूप त्रास होतो ऑनलाईन लेक्चर्स घेताना वगैरे ऍडजस्ट होताना, ते पण एवढं वर्ष झाल्यानंतर, आता एवढे सिनियर झाल्यावर. पण सरांना तसा एवढा वेळ कधी लागलाच नाही. पण ऑनलाईन लेक्चर म्हणजे आम्ही जे मिस करतो ते म्हणजे की सर जे वरून क्लासवर म्हणजे सांगायचे की बाबा एवढे चहा पाठव पटकन, ते काही ऑनलाईन लेक्चर मध्ये होत नाही. त्यामुळे सरांची कधी असं म्हणजे स्टुडंट टीचर किंवा इव्हन असं कलिग टू कलिग असंही रिलेशन कधी वाटलं नाही. त्यामुळे सर इज लाईक अ फ्रेंड अँड फिलॉसॉफर असंच नेहमी वाटत आहे. आणि सगळ्यात महत्वाचं म्हणजे हे लक्षात आलं की तुम्ही कुठेही जा आणि जर तुम्ही सांगितलं की मी डोंबिवलीत नाही, मी मुंबईत नाही आणि मी मॅथमॅटिक्स बॅकग्राऊंडचा आहे, तर कोणी पण हे नक्कीच विचारेल की तुम्ही तांबे सरांना ओळखतात का. त्याच्यावरूनच कळतं की तांबे सरांचं किती काम मोठं आहे. थँक्यू.
Thank you, Shubham. So we listen to a lot of students. Maybe we should hear from some of his friends. I first call Moki sir. He is not there. Okay. Makaran sir. Makaran sir was also a student first batch. Friend. Expected dignitaries on dais. Audience. And Ambedkar's extended family, extended influence, and of course the budding mathematicians in whose support this program has been organized. I can see some of them. There was a story I heard in childhood. All of you must have heard it. Usually, that story is narrated with respect to philosophy. There is a 11.94 line. Why not? You know this. Elephant is a huge animal.
And more blind people they come across it, they try to help them by whatever part they can. So they when they are asked to explain what they have seen, is from individual perspective they describe. Many of the people who spoke before me, they are students. Some of them have become students to teachers. So they have seen both the sides of teaching and learning. Their perspectives are of course higher. I am speaking. So whatever I speak will be with respect to our friendship. थोडस मराठीत बोलायला काही पर्यायच नाही दोघे विचार असल्यामुळे विवी करमरकर नावाचे एक कॉमेंटेटर होऊन गेले मराठी खूप छान कॉमेंट्री करायचे रेडिओवर त्यांची कॉमेंट्री आम्ही लावायचो आणि टीव्ही लोड करून बघायचो ऐकायचो त्यांनी एका मॅच मध्ये असं त्यांची कॉमेंट्री चालली होती की शास्त्री आणि पाटील खेळत होते ह्याची कॉमेंट्री अशी बघा की आता हे जे दोन खेळाडू खेळत आहेत गोलंदाज रवी शास्त्री आणि संदीप पाटील दोघेही मुंबईतर्फे खेळतात दोघेही उजव्या हाताने बॅटिंग करतात दोघेही डावखुरे गोलंदाज दोघेही ज्युनियर्स कॉलेज मधले दोघेही मित्र आणि असेच बऱ्याच वर्षांनंतर ह्याच वेळी करणं परत एकदा मी ऐकलं तेंडुलकर आणि कांबळे खेळत होते दोघेही शाळेपासूनचे मित्र एक उजवा एक डावा एकाला झाका दुसऱ्याला काढा बाकी काय फरक नाही आमची रिलेशनशिप ही आहे ही या प्रकारची रिलेशनशिप आहे दॅट इज वाय आय वॉन्ट टू स्पीक विथ दिस अँगल देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन मी स्पीकिंग अबाउट हिम और ही स्पीकिंग अबाउट मी when I speak I will be speaking about us and tomorrow if he speaks for me, he will be speaking about us. My childhood I spent in Malad. Till the first year of my graduation, I was in Malad. And then our family shifted to Thane. So, in this case, I came to know that there is a student in Shri Tambe in Bandurkar College, my classmate. Probably I don't know whether here do my surname also at that time. Both of us were some. There are some differences, of course. The differences they are like this. He was deeply interested in mathematics from childhood. My interest in mathematics grew later. Because I think in 7th standard, when he first discovered the divisibility test of 7 on his own. I was in 9th standard when I understood the divisibility test of 9 on my own. Why I am saying this because world of mathematics, all know that those were the days when beyond school, there was no other source of knowledge for us. And situation of mathematics teachers in schools is really particular from long years. You go to a good school and ask them how many graduates of mathematics are teaching here. Perhaps there may not be a single one. Those who are good in mathematics, they become engineers. And then later on, they become working in IT or finance or finally admin, such things. And then those who are not so, those who go for commerce, they end up doing CA and such things. And very, very few people who remain there, they end up teaching. That's a sad story, of course. So in TYPSC, we came together. And in TYPSC, we knew each other. And there was a force of attraction of the gravitational sort of attraction, not like electromagnetic. It's not the opposite things attracting each other. Both of us had some potential which we recognized and that brought us together. There onwards, we have been together. So, differences and similarities, as I was speaking about, was from that day was damn confident about our abilities. He is always confident about his students' abilities that his students are told him. I was not much interested in mathematics. The reason why I took mathematics in the one of the great reasons was that there are only 4 lectures a day, there is no practice. To avoid physics practical side mathematics, and of course I agreed with and some great teachers in Bangalore college at the time. He went to IIT and he brought a form for both of us. And he filled my form. Because I was reluctant. I said, no, but हम क्या करेंगे? IIT है boss. हम कहाँ जाएंगे? तो सबमिट में मुझे वाली बात तो सिलेक्शन होना है. बाकी चंद से बड़ा मालूम. That was his words, and of course in IIT we were together. The hostel life we enjoyed. There were some reasons then that I discontinued the completed. After discontinuing, I spent the year and I came to know that I cannot do anything else but mathematics only. So I again came back and then I joined the University of Mathematics, where Professor Kumar taught me. So why I decided that I will be speaking mainly about friendship of us. I tell you. Both of us came into mathematics teaching profession. I went for a government sector job. He went as a freelancer. The common thing about both of us, I will say that we did not go for private coaching for money making. When it comes to potentials, we both had. That's a common thing that we did not go for that. There was a time when my job was not going well. I tried in other professions. IIT class also I tried. After doing it successfully for a few years, I realized that ये boss हम इसके लिए हमें जाते हैं. What a teacher is supposed to do is not to, not to coach a rich man's children to go ahead in the race. क्या competition होता है आप लोग जानते हैं? जाएंगे तो कैसे जाएंगे? आधा टैलेंट कुचलने के बाद ही जाएंगे. Teacher क्या काम करता है? टीचर पैसा लेते हैं. That teacher is going to put some pressure in their food. That's something we both of us have avoided. What a teacher should be doing is finally inspiring a student, expose the student to the beauties of the subject, whether mathematics or anything, and inspire the student finally to do a career probably. And if you cannot do a career in that, at least as some people have said, they divert from mathematics, but wherever they go, mathematics will reflect. There are 3 things, your language, मातृभाषा असते, ज्ञान, तुमचं गणितीय डोकं आणि तुमची संस्कृती ह्या तुमच्या प्रत्येक गोष्टीमध्ये रिफ्लेक्ट होतं. बाकी काय करत नसतं. बाकी काय एज्युकेशन असतं हे आता मी आय डोंट रिमेंबर द संस्कृत वर्स एक्झॅक्टली, पण ते थोडं ट्रान्सलेशन करून तुम्हाला सांगतो मी. A great rishi was once asked, what is the secret of your knowledge? From where did you get all this knowledge? He said a quarter of this knowledge was given to me by my teachers. Another quarter I did on my own. I learned it on my own. Another quarter of it came to discussion with fellow colleagues and friends. The remaining quarter has been accumulated throughout these years. आता ही परिस्थिती थोडी बदललेली आहे. परिस्थिती आता अशी निर्माण होऊन गेलेली आहे की there are PhD graduate some years back. Here the university made it module wise compulsory. Some years back, मला तर मृदुला तुमच्या काळात ती गोष्ट असेल 8 प्रश्न असायचे 5 सोडवायचे 8तले 5च सोडवायचे any 5 out of 8. So teacher would say, I will not teach you a quarter because 6 is sufficient. You still can write the options, and the student would leave a quarter. आपली जेवढी capacity नाही. 80% करून मिळणारच ना आपल्याला. And another quarter would be left because the student does not understand it. But universities are so great, our examination systems and all, they are so great that with that quarter knowledge, you will cross the hurdle, you will get a degree. And then what happens to that knowledge over the years? Sublimes. That is something not going to happen if you come across a good teacher in whatever subject. That good teacher will take care. One of them is here. I have been saying that I am speaking from a friend's perspective, and this is something I want to tell you. As this program is finally for budding mathematicians, and there are some budding mathematicians around. If you want to be successful in life, I am successful because of God's grace. I got a friend. Look for a friend. Because it's 1/4 of the knowledge essential. It comes to good friends. So look for a good friend like Tambe sir, or else look for a good friend like me. टाइम थोडासा कमी आहे याची मला कल्पना आहे. तर टीचर असल्यामुळे की आम्हाला 50 मिनिटांची वेळ झाल्याशिवाय थांबता येत नाही. Being a mathematics teacher, we are in the habit of continuing till the other teacher forces you. तर आपल्याला वेळ कमी पडतो. आता कार्यक्रमाची मर्यादा लक्षात घेऊया. स्टुडंट्सनी त्यांच्याबद्दल ॲज अ टीचर्स स्टुडंट्स पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह सांगितलेलं आहे. फ्रेंड्स म्हणून आमचं जे काय आहे ते. So what happened beyond beyond the mix, and we continued further. So together this आमचा कायम टिकून राहिला. एक वेळ अशी आली की युनिव्हर्सिटी ऑफ मुंबई प्रोफेसर मिसेस प्रफुल्लता चव्हाण मॅडम, she decided to build a team for Olympiad trainers in Mumbai. Similar work was being done in Australia and Pune, and that was the time. That's by the way another common thing between both of us. Both of us did not take the Olympiad because it was not there at our time. We have started participating in 1989 onwards, and by then we had completed our graduation. But both of us got into coaching of mathematics Olympiad students together, and that's when Professor Chawatri was looking for good trainers, probable good trainers. So she picked up me. Of course, I was from University of Mumbai, and she called me, and then she also asked me about there was one Uday Tambe after your batch, and you call him also. So shamelessly I told her, Uday तुला माहित नाहीये. Shamelessly I told her that Uday will not be of much use. But त्याचा एक मोठा भाऊ आहे. He can immensely contribute. So she asked me to call him. And then we were together. There onwards we started coaching for Max Olympiad. By about 2010 or 12, I got bored of it. But then we started teaching, starting coaching and setting papers, etc. for the Magua mathematics competition, which can be called as young undergraduate Indian mathematics students Olympiad. That we have been doing together so far. काही गोष्टी ऑफकोर्स अशा असतात त्याच्यामध्ये त्याची कॉन्ट्रिब्युशन्स वेगळी आहेत. ऑल्सो वेंट विथ मराठी विज्ञान परीक्षा थोडंसं मला असं नेहमी वाटतं की मी त्याचं ब्लेम करतो की तो माझा गव्हर्नमेंट जॉब असल्यामुळे जे फ्रीडम त्याला मिळालं ते मला मिळालं नाही. पण जे विवेक रमणकरांनी सांगितलं होतं हा उस्मान तो डावरा ते असतंच थोडंसं असतं. तो तेंडुलकर झाला की कांबळे राहिला. Of course, we have enjoyed so far together, and I'm hopeful this. I'm sure we'll be confident that this relationship will continue forever. Thank you so much, Mr. for sharing those experiences with him. We have one last person to share his experience as a colleague. We have Raman sir from Nasik, and then we proceed towards the final part of the event. So Raman sir and Tambe sir, they both of them, they are faculty for our Olympiad program. Not that I'm publicizing our Olympiad program, but they are our main pillars for the Olympiad.
मातृभाषेतच बोलतो. आय होप एव्हरीवन कॅन अंडरस्टँड मराठी. जर कोणाला मराठी कळत नसेल तर हात वर करा. शक्यता नाही. माननीय व्यासपीठ आणि आजचे सत्कारमूर्ती तांबे सर, त्यांचा माझा परिचय साधारण 5 वर्षांपूर्वीपासून आहे. जसं विनय सर बोलले की एक पिक्चर निघाला होता कौन है प्रवीण तांबे, तसं मला जेव्हा मी रामटेकडीला गेलो त्यावेळेला मुलांकडनं कळलं हे तांबे सर, ये है तांबे सर. कौन हे विचारायची गरज नव्हती. पण मला असं वाटतं की जसं सरांना म्युझिकची पण आवड आहे, क्लासिकल म्युझिक आणि मॅथमॅटिक्स फार जवळचे आहे. त्यांचा सहसंबंध काही इथे मी स्पष्ट करणार नाही, कारण आता मकरंद सर बोलले त्यांना 50 मिनिटाची सवय आहे, मला 2.5 तासाची सवय आहे. त्यामुळे मी काही तेवढं सांगणार नाही. असो, पण मला एक असं इथे सांगावं असं वाटतं की ज्याप्रमाणे उस्ताद झाकीर हुसेन आहेत की जे तबला वादक म्हणून जन्माला आले, त्याच्यासाठी त्यांना फार करायची गरज नाही पडली, ते तबला वादक म्हणूनच जन्माला आले. तसे तांबे सर मला वाटतं शिक्षक म्हणूनच जन्माला आलेले आहेत. दुसरी गोष्ट अशी आहे की इथे काही पालकही बसलेले आहेत किंवा काही मुलं आहेत, प्रत्येकाला एक चांगला शिक्षक लागत असतो. आणि जर आपण त्या मुलाला विचारलं का रे तू पुढे शिक्षक होणार आहेस का, तो मुलगा सरळ जाय मी शिक्षक होणार, मी शिक्षक होणार असं तो बोलू शकतो, कारण त्याच्या समोर असे आदर्श नसतात. पण आज बघा, मी एक जस्ट निरीक्षण केलं की जास्तीत जास्त सरांचे विद्यार्थी शिक्षक बनलेले आहेत, ही आपल्या देशाला लागत असणारी फार मोठी संपत्ती आहे. कारण एक शिक्षक हजारो वेगवेगळ्या क्षेत्रातली माणसं घडवत असतो. आणि आज जे काही सगळं आपण बघतोय की विविधांगी क्षेत्रामध्ये सरांचा व्यासंग, वावर आणि त्याच्यावरचे विचार
हे त्यांच्या मुलांमध्ये त्यांनी पारित केलेले आहे. आणि त्याचा हा परिपाक आहे की कोणत्याही रिकमेंडेशन शिवाय, कोणत्याही अर्जाशिवाय हा मिळणारा पुरस्कार आहे. नाही तर पुरस्कार मिळवायला अर्ज करावे लागतो. आज हा उपसंघाने, क्लासिकल म्युझिक भाषेत सांगायचं झालं तर उपसंघाने आलेला हा पुरस्कार आहे. आणि याचं महत्व खरोखर अगदी गणिताच्या भाषेत सांगायचं झालं तर टेन्स टू इन्फिनिटी आहे. त्यामुळे मी नाशिकहून आज खास आलो आणि मग ह्या समारंभाचा एक घटक बनू शकलो, ह्याबद्दल मला फार सार्थ झाल्यासारखं वाटतंय. आणि जरी विनय सर बोलले की मी त्यांचा एक सहकारी कलिक आहे, पण नाही, मी सरांचा एक असा आपण म्हणतो ना की एकलव्य, असा मी सरांचा एक स्टुडंट आहे. दुरस्थ करणाने मी सरांना कायम मानत असतो, कारण त्यांच्याबद्दल इतर मुलांकडनं जे ऐकतो तेव्हा कळतं की अरे ती आपल्यासाठी मला एक मोठी प्रेरणा आहे की निदान मी पण आहे सुदैवाने शिक्षकी पेशामध्ये, तर मी पण काहीतरी वेगळं करू शकीन. आणि आज इथे आल्यानंतर मला खरोखर कृतकृत्य झाल्यासारखं वाटलं. आणि मी सर्वांचे आभार मानतो, विशेष करून सरांचं पुन्हा मनपूर्वक अभिनंदन करतो. आणि खास करून मी रमण फॅमिलीचे फार आभार व्यक्त करतो की अशा रीतीचं आयडेंटिफिकेशन करून पुरस्कार देणं ही आजच्या समाजामध्ये खरोखर मोठी गरज आहे. आणि हे काम असं अजून पुढे चालू राहो ही ईश्वर चरणी प्रार्थना. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Bhavai sir. I think all of us would now be waiting to hear from Tambe sir. So Tambe sir, unfortunately we couldn't give a blackboard and a chalk. We couldn't arrange that, but we'll hear something else now.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, Ram Foundation and the family of Shri Raman sir for considering me and my service worthy for this award. It's a great honor for me, and I would like to dedicate this award to my mother and all my students, without whom this could not have been possible. 30 years is a long journey, but I feel like I have started just a few days back. When I completed my MSc, Shri Raghuji sir, a very respectable and well-known figure in education field of Dombili, said 3 students and in his typical language said, "Balu, ata kamala suruat kara." So with his blessings, me and my brother, we started teaching, and very soon we found what's our area of work, what we call as it was Vihit Dharma. So namely, FY/2 library. Later on, under the guidance of George Madam, we also started our training, and many of my friends, many of my own students joined this wonderful journey and supported me in various possible ways. I cannot thank them enough or saying thank you to too formal or close relations of bonding. But I would like to mention a few of them. My close friend Makram Nepalkar, we already talked about our friendship and he's a very sharp brain. So he is always with me in various activities like Olympiad, IIT jump training, and Madhava competition. The initial days, it made a wonderful friend, Makram Moki, who is not here today. With whom we had many detailed discussions about teaching ideology and education systems, etc. So that helped me actually directly or indirectly shaping up as a good teacher. And I talk about some of students. The list of students is too long, but I'd like to mention a few of them. Our first batch student Deepashri, who did her MSc from IIT Bombay and is now working as HOD of class in SK Sophia College. She helped us a lot in the initial days of teaching. She engaged lectures many times
with last minute implementation. There was Kedar, who has the most all-round experience in education field and in Odisha programs for many years and is now in Math Center project. Mandar is not here today. He is a professor at CHM College and is currently doing research under Professor Shriprasad. He is with me for many years in IIT training at various colleges like Raman, Via, DC, SP, and he is also with us in Madhav competition. In fact, last year, due to some that because of Makaran and Mandar, I could attend Madhav meetings, but otherwise it was not possible for me. So Kedar and Mandar both have done much more for me beyond teaching. Mention my sister, only call as Naya, who is professor at Ruya and MSc from IIT Kanpur, and now she is doing a PhD under Professor Shriprasad. She is always ready to teach any topic, anytime for IIT training and other competition. Some years back, to IITian, Samiksha and Uma, they helped me with different projects. Shubham is here. Shubham did his MSc in statistics from IIT Kanpur and is currently doing his PhD from IIT Bombay. He helped me in IIT training and takes care of all statistics syllabus. For last 2 years, I am associated with Ram Foundation, which has opened up new doors for me and made wonderful teachers like Sir and honoree Sir. And we are together in various activities like Olympiad, Ram TP, HMNC, and Circle, etc. Great honor to be part of the team with Professor Muralidharan Sir in Olympiad training. Coming to my family members, my son, Super, has helped a lot in every possible way to conduct my online courses, Fundamentals of Mathematics and Joy of Mathematics during the Corona period for school students. Both were huge successes and that's because of him. Also, he manages my online lectures and organizes everything with perfection. My brother, who taught initially for many years with me, has always been a constant source of inspiration and support throughout the journey. That is inspiration for all our group. One student who listened to me for 1 year and later on listened to her for 18 years. My wife, she has looked after me and my health issues and taken care of family. So without this family support and understanding, I could not have done so much through all these years. Even after 30 years of teaching, I honestly feel like a newcomer and I have to learn many new things about teaching. Since some things like maths lab for schools are to be fulfilled, this award comes the responsibility to work hard on in the 30 years, I made some good students like Atul Dixit, Aditya Ganaki, Dona, Viraj, Madai, Olympiad, and Sridevi, Karim, Venkatesh, Shifa, Pramod, Anand, Akshay, Anand, Anand is great in Seattle. Anand, Akshay, Chandran from BSc Battle. I also want to thank parents of the cooperation and patience towards. Many of my students came into teaching and research, and I wish them all the best. I express my sincere gratitude towards my teachers and professors like Yogesh Madam, Professor Shakti Madam, Shawaka Madam, Sani Sir for their guidance and motivation. Yeah. So once again,
Thank you so much, Tambe sir. I think all of us have heard from so many students and his friends and colleagues. And the role of a legal guru cannot be truly expressed in words. All that we can do is, create some small opportunities like these, where we can come together and offer our token of gratitude for what they have done to us. So I think that's what it means us for all of us at Raising Mathematician Foundation, and we truly feel honored that the first award for the Raman award is going to the right person, and the benchmark will be really high, from here for the next awardees. And we are very thankful to you, Tambe sir, for being with us always. And we really hope that you keep this passion and energy for teaching. And you have already taught my son. I really hope that you get a chance to teach my grandchildren as well. So we wish you all good health and spirits. And my sincere thanks to all the dignitaries who made this possible and who came here today to spend time with all of us in this special occasion. My sincere thanks to Tambe sir's family members, Honoree sir, Shri Shriprasad, and everyone else who have come here. And thanks to Raman sir's family members for joining, all his students, friends, and everyone. And a big shout to Kedar sir and Anushree ji for connecting with all of you and making this possible. Last few weeks we have been on their toes in terms of trying to get in touch with as many students as possible, and it was difficult initially because we wanted to keep it as a surprise to Tambe sir. So we couldn't give a flyer, and we were trying to. So thanks to Drupal, he got Tambe sir's phone when he was asleep, and he got some contacts of all students. So we had a lot of fun in doing all these things. But special thanks to Kedar sir and Anushree ji, and to all my colleagues from Raising a Mathematician Foundation who have joined, Shri Prakash, Rajan, one of our trustees, and my own teachers who took time to come here, Professor Kane Madam from Modern College, and all of you who are assembled here. A big thanks to all of you, and I really feel happy to see such a crowd who are passionate about mathematics. We all come from the same background, so I request all of you to look up, about the work that we do, and any way you can be part of that work. I wouldn't say support, because we all support each other and we work together. So if you can be part of any of our initiatives, we'll be very happy. There is a small counter here, and if anybody wishes to make a donation towards any of the projects that we do, feel free to do that, and you can pick up a book about Raman sir from here. But please note that I use the if condition and not the only if condition for picking up the book. So feel free to pick up a book, even if you even if you just want to read it. So with that, I'll conclude. I would like to thank one and everyone, everybody present here, and if I missed out somebody, my apologies. Thank you so much for making this evening so memorable. Thank you all. I think we should have a photo session with Tambe sir. That's something that I'm sure all students wouldn't want to miss. So if I can quickly request all the students to come first, then we can have a student and Tambe sir photo, and then we can have colleagues and Tambe sir's photo, friends and Tambe sir's, together. So all students, if you can come forward. Sub student, yes. यस आप सब सेट्स के इंटरसेक्शन हो, जो भी वैसे है वो लोग आ सकते हैं. यस प्लीज कम.